And how's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? Ha ha ha. Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's get it right. Let's load them up. We're going to see if we can get them right this morning, y'all. Wait 1 second. Maybe now we can. And bling, bling, bling. Yeah. One more time. What? That's right. And yes, we got to wake up those paws. We got to wake up those paws. We got to wake up those paws. And here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what the scenario? Y'all ready? Y'all know what it is. It's Monday the 19th. That's right, y'all. It's 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. It's Monday. Y'all ain't got no excuse today. I don't care if you sleep, get up. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's our bottom line. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you guys, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me and us, the co-hosts, we appreciate you. Yes, it is Monday. Time to get up, get out, get into it, get it on. That's right, you guys. Let's do it. Positive energy. Let's keep it flowing. Let's take this energy and take it on the road so everybody can feel it. Thank you for all of the love. Y'all already know what that does for me. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. And let me see who we got in the building early this Monday morning. Y'all don't got no excuse to be asleep. Y'all better get up, get up. Dion's in here. Dude says, how many suits do you own? Damn. Okay, Rebecca says, good morning from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We got Batty Lynn up in the building that says, good morning from Detroit. Daniel says, good morning. Mark Dorfman says, good morning, NYC. Let me tell you something. The more money we get, the more suits we going to buy, because we got to stay on point and we got to let people know who we are. I got to represent for you guys. There's thousands of people that come here every day. I'm not going to get up in my pajamas and be talking about this is what we got going on. That's what we got going on. No, we got to look crispy. Got to play the part, and we got to show respect. It's not just for me, but it's respect for you guys. That's right. So without any further ado, I'd like to get to work. That's what you're supposed to do on Monday morning, right? Y'all already know this is my favorite day of the week. I love a Monday. This is when they got to pick up their phone. They can't be talking about, oh, the weekend's coming, blah, blah, blah. Y'all already know how I do. Monday, they got to pick that phone up and they got to get to work. So you know what? I'm going to get to work too. If you guys appreciate the content, go ahead and double tap that screen to get those likes up to let everybody know what we have going on this morning at our bottom line. And without any further ado, because I got what? A lot in the clip. Let's get into these titles. Let's go. What we got right here? We got Trump tells Walmart to eat the tariffs. This is something that I've been worrying about. You and I have already been talking about potato chip prices and how things are going to go up if the tariffs did. Well, guess what, you guys? You guys were right. Tariffs are going up. Walmart's already announced that they're raising prices. But guess what? Trump's telling them to eat those prices. We're going to keep on moving forward, you guys, because we got so much more in the clip. Let's get into the next topic, which was a late-breaking story yesterday, which was a ship crashes into the Brooklyn Bridge and kills 2 and injures many. There were over 300 people on this bridge. There was on the ship. There was a Mexican ship that was carrying 300 people. One of the crew members lost his life, and right after that, there was another one that was in critical that did not survive. There was many other people injured. We have that clip. We're going to get into it, you guys, but we got so much more to go into that we just got to do it. We've got Mr. James Comey over there praying. We've got James Comey's wife, who is about to be interviewed after threats against Donald Trump. You guys probably saw the tweet that was sent out by James Comey. If it was tweet or something like that, it was something that he basically let out, which was saying these four numbers. The numbers were 8647. They took that as a threat. It was spelled out with seashells. He was interviewed yesterday for up to 70 minutes. Now his wife is about to get interviewed. We got much more, you guys. That's just one of many. And last but not least, something that I thought was phenomenal. You guys are going to be very interested when you see this, because I think it's a game changer when it comes down to mass shooters. We have experimental drones. That's right. Experimental drones that have been created in Chicago in order to neutralize mass shooters. So now you imagine you got this mass shooter trying to, whatever like that. You got a drone that just comes in, neutralizes the situation. We got a lot in the clip. We got a bunch to go through. I'm going to start stacking this deck. You guys, do me one favor. Let's try to stay on topic so that we can have a great dialogue. And without any further ado, the first thing I like to show you guys is one special interview that Donald Trump did yesterday, and basically talked about China, talked about his family, moving forward at the end of his trip to the Middle East. We're going to get into this, guys. We got so much more to go. I'm going to stack 4 clips. Then I'm going to come to those comments. You guys also don't forget to let me know how I always ask you. What do I always say? Let me know where you're chiming in from. This way, I can always make sure that I get content that makes sense to you guys. Let's get into this.
President, thanks for the time.
Thank you very much.
First of all, congrats on becoming a grandfather for the 11th time.
Most importantly,
Tiffany, baby Alexander.
they're a really good couple, great couple, I think. And the baby is perfect. I'll let you know about it in 21 years. But the baby is good, so we're happy about that. I look forward to seeing the baby.
Seeing you with those grandkids. This is a big trip. This is seen, especially in this region, as a major, major success with the interaction between each one of these countries. How do you see it today as you wrap it up?
Well, I always considered it to be a very important region. I know all 3 leaders, as you could see, very well. In all 3 cases, I knew them long before I ran for politics, which is sort of something. It makes it a little bit more special. They're great people. The 3 of them, they're great people. And it's a great region, but it was never treated properly. And it was certainly not treated well by Biden, who didn't know he was alive, frankly. So, you know, you can understand that. But he was not, they didn't treat this group well. And I think they were being, and I guess you know, because you've reported on it, they were being coaxed very strongly by China, because that solves China's fuel problem forever. And it wasn't their preference, but they were on their way. They were going to China, and that was going to be their parent. And that's not happening anymore.
Do you think you've shifted the paradigm on that?
No, I don't think. I know. We are as close. We're closer now to them than ever before. You could see the relationship. You could get a body expert and pay them a lot of money, and they could tell you. No, there's just a relationship that I have with all 3 that's just very extraordinary. I was even saying, I mean, we're like so friendly. Not a normal situation where you're okay with a leader or whatever. But this is a very important region. This is the energy capital of the world. They have, massive amounts of energy and other things. They've invested wisely. And they're looking to do other things. I guess in Saudi Arabia, they said in another couple of years, there'll be more than 50% other businesses represent more than 50% of the take.
We got another timestamp here I want you guys to check out here at 14:49 on the same video, but it's very important because I want to cover it and make sure that we're getting everything out. We don't have to look at everything, but you guys, if you definitely want to go and check this entire coverage out, you can. What we're going to get into right now is all of the talks about the plane that was gifted. Is he going to give it back? What's going on with this plane that everybody's talking about? Let's go there.
No, but your audience has to.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Look at this check for $160,000.
To hear the answers here.
They're giving it to the Defense Department.
To be very simple.
Yeah.
They're giving it to the United States Air Force / Defense Department of the United States. They're not giving it to me. I made a good deal. We need a plane for a couple of years before we get the other ones, because Boeing is very late. Boeing is sadly.
Did you talk to the CEO? While
I
you were-
did. I said, let's get, in the meantime, I got him 160 planes to build. I said, how about the two that you're supposed to build for our country? Now, they are different. They're extremely complex, and I'm not going to go into it, but they're not like a normal plane. It's not like building a 747 normal.
We could put people on the moon before
But let me tell you,
the Boeing Air Force One is
people
done.
knew I was angry at Boeing. A lot of people know. These people know. They're very smart down here. And they suggested if we can do anything at all to help. Because we have 40-year-old planes right now. Our Air Force One is actually two planes. It's two 747s.
It's one thing people know. They're 40 years. It's 4 decades old, the current Air Force One.
They're 40 years old. They're more than that. I think they're 42 now. I've been saying 40 for 2 years. They're 42. We shouldn't have a 42-year-old plane.
All right, y'all. Yeah, we're going to keep it going. I wanted to get into a couple of things because a lot of people have been talking about that topic. Everybody's saying Trump has been gifted a plane. Thank you so much, Job 4, again, for that gift right there in the super chat. Job for 9 gives up $10. Everybody be like, Job for 9, and we'll have a great show. I got to keep on going because I told you guys we're going to stack 4 clips until then we're going to get into the comments. We had a serious situation that happened yesterday with some late breaking news. We have a ship that crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge in New York, my home state where I'm at right now, you guys. It was 2 people sadly lost their lives, many other injuries. I don't know what made these people do this, but the thing about it is this. When you don't travel around a lot of bridges and things of that nature, and you have high, sales and things of that nature, I'm assuming that something like this could possibly happen. I'm not going to throw any shade on the situation. I just feel very bad for the people who lost their lives and all of the injured. And we're going to pray that all of those people get well soon. And for the families the people that lost their lives, we're going to pray for them to get to have strength in this sad time in what's going on in their lives. We ask this in Jesus' name, amen. Want to keep on moving forward, you guys. Want you guys to see what's going on with this right here. It's pretty crazy. And again, we're not passing any blame or anything like that, but this is a Mexican naval ship that crashes into the Brooklyn Bridge yesterday.
The investigation into the crash of the Brooklyn Bridge, a Mexican Navy tall ship slammed into the iconic structure, killing at least 2 people. More than a dozen others were injured. Several members of the crew who had been on the...
You see there's people up there dangling because they got pulled up into the strings, I guess, as they were holding on to them down there. So there's many people that were hanging and dangling and everything after this happened.
Structure, killing at least 2 people. More than a dozen others were injured. Several members of the crew who had been on the mast before they hit the bridge were suspended helplessly in midair. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has more.
Tonight, the terrifying moments when this Mexican Navy tall ship carrying nearly 300 people slammed into the Brooklyn Bridge, killing 2 crew members and injuring more than a dozen.
We're about to watch it crash into the Brooklyn Bridge.
Dramatic videos from land capturing the moment it happened at about 8:20 Saturday night.
The captain that was maneuvering the ship lost, power of the ship.
You can see it traveling backwards when the masts hit the bridge, one after another. Onlookers watching in disbelief.
We thought it was maybe going to go under the Brooklyn Bridge at the highest point, so it would avoid striking the mast. But then we noticed it was going backwards.
And it kept coming and coming and coming. And I just remember thinking, wow, this is so odd. It's getting too close. And then it crashed.
First responders rushing to the scene to aid the injured. Luckily, officials say no one fell into the water. Officials say there was no major damage to the bridge.
This is a tough bridge. It was overbuilt from the very beginning and it's withstood an awful lot.
We are just feet away from the ship, and at the top, you can see those snapped masts that hit the underside of the Brooklyn Bridge. Up there right now, you can also see people in harnesses.
NTSB investigators among those now on the scene.
What the NTSB is going to do is treat this exactly like they would of an air accident. They're going to take a look at everything.
This crash brings back memories of March 2024 when a cargo ship slammed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore after it lost power, causing a catastrophic collapse. 6 construction workers were killed.
This ship arrived in New York just last week for a goodwill tour, and officials say it was headed to Iceland when it crashed, and now investigators are trying to figure out exactly how this could have happened.
Yeah, that's terrible. We have to keep on moving forward. Yes, New York, we're gonna keep on Keep on moving forward, you guys. Thank you, Job 4, for the $10 right there. What else we got going on over here? We have Job 4 again, sends Bugatti a gift, a membership. Thank you for becoming a member, Job. Appreciate you. Finally, Harley, woo, $50, Harley. Woo, I'm gonna go buy me a Harley with that 50. Thank you so much, Harley. Y'all need to keep on being like these people if y'all appreciate the content. Everybody, go ahead and follow suit. And I don't mean this suit. Do me a favor, you guys, if y'all appreciate the content, go ahead and double tap that screen to let more people know that we're over here. This is what we do every single morning at Our Bottom Line. We have our co-hosts, phenomenal people. We keep on running these clips, and I want you guys to make sure, please, let's stay on topic, because I got some good stuff for you guys today. We're going to keep on moving forward because New Jersey transit strike is finally over. Yes, we got to go over the boring news as well. The boring news, the exciting news, and everything like that. I'm from New York. Many people in New York and New Jersey are very concerned right now because we thought for months this strike could have kept on going, and it did not. So luckily, it's over now, and we're going to have a little quick briefing from Phil Murphy. I don't really know about who likes him so much because of his radical thinking, but we still got to get on this and cover it and let you guys see what's going on here with what's going on in New Jersey. Because like I said, this the strike is over and they finally struck a deal yesterday.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on short notice yet again. This evening, as you probably have seen, I am delighted to report that NJ Transit and the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen, BLET, have reached a tentative agreement. And as a result, New Jersey's first rail strike in decades has officially come to an end. Starting Tuesday, May 20th, NJ Transit will once again provide rail service to the more than 100,000 riders who depend on it every single day. And I think Chris will give you a little bit more color as to why Tuesday.
Well, you already said it. We got enough. Thank you so much. Your audio sucks. Just wanted my people to see what was going on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep on moving forward, because I told them we're going to stack this deck. What we got to do now is move to Washington, because this is the battle of the bench. We got these judges that are going against everything that the administration is putting out right now, whether it's deportations, whether it's sending people back to, same thing like deportations. But there's a lot of what we call liberal judges in certain states that have a lot of power. So what we're trying to do right now in Washington, there's a battle of the bench where these judges are battling over the hearings and the Trump agendas. Let's get over here really quickly. I want you guys to see what's going on right here. It also has to do with the Aliens Enemies Act, which has come into play with many questions. I want you guys to see what's going on with this over here. Give me 1 second to find this. Let me find this real quick. I think it got away from me. I think that's you right here. Is that you? There we go. Oh, battle over the bench. Let's go.
Showdown on Capitol Hill. Republicans trying to rein in the power of federal judges as legal battles go on over President Trump's agenda.
Time and time again, rogue judges have asserted, as though they were 5 of the 9 members of the Supreme Court.
Republicans on this committee are sending a message to anyone who dares to stand up to Donald Trump. If you step out of line, they will target you next.
Our Constitution did not create a plural executive or judicial tyranny. Today, we're far too close to both.
If President Trump's agenda is as popular as he claims, he can work with his allies in Congress to convince the American people to support it.
Who gets to make the call? Is it the guy whose name was on the ballot, or is it some bureaucrat? Is it the guy who got 77 million votes, or some district judge?
Trump and Musk have been systematically violating the Constitution and breaking the law to trample the rights of the people.
Let's bring in Sunday Night in America host Trey Gowdy, former federal prosecutor and House Oversight Committee chairman. Trey, thank you for coming on. I would just want to get your thoughts on what we heard out of the hearing today, because we've heard so much about these nationwide injunctions, and the message from Republicans is beginning to resonate with the general public that the courts are, being used as a tool of the left at this point.
Well, I mean, first of all, let's take a step back. I mean, both sides have enjoined presidents from doing things that they didn't like. It's just a much bigger scale right now. And if you dive into the numbers, it is usually Obama, Clinton, Biden-appointed judges that are enjoining the president. So the math is pretty simple. To become a federal judge, you need 50 senators plus the vice president. To become the president, you need 270 electoral votes. So they're really not equal with one another, Jackie. And if you think about our legal system, the higher up you go, the more people you have to get to agree with you. If you're on the Supreme Court, you got to convince 4 other people to agree with you. If you're on the Court of Appeals, you got to get one other person to agree with you. As a district court judge, and I used to work for one, I got a lot of them that are friends, but you can do it by yourself. So I don't think that's what was intended, and I think the public doesn't like it, so you're going to see reforms.
All right, y'all. I hope we do see reforms, to tell you the truth, because I don't think a lot of these judges should be able to stop executive orders in certain areas. But I do believe in justice, and I do believe in fair court, and I do believe in what? Debating. That's why we have what we have going on here. We're not Republicans, Democrats, or independents. We're human beings. That's why we have an open forum that we created, that I want to see what you guys got to say. And I'm in the comments right now. Okay, guys, what we got over here? Lewis says, Bugatti G, do you still sell them? I don't know what you're talking about. Cameron says, under a Democratic Walmart. Okay, cool. Let's get you up out of here. Bang! We're going to leave you at the Walmart because you cool. But we getting the people that's playing up out of here. Cameron says, man, I seen my first heroin needle in a Walmart bathroom. Damn. Also, we got to give mad love to Harley. Massive love to Harley. And the 9 likes on that, massive love to Harley for for the super chat. Thank you so much. Travis says 2 screens don't make you important or rich. You're right about that. How about you have a good day and bang, get the hell up out of here. Now we're gonna keep on moving. Darren says tariffs cause instability in supply chains that hurt small businesses. What we got up ahead? Kendra said there's 158 people and we got 24 likes. That means Kendra's trying to tell you guys we got too many people and we don't got that many likes. So know what we're going to do, Kendra, right now? We're going to start this early. We're going to let them people, we're going to let the people run that don't like giving likes. We can do it this early. It's not a problem. So if you don't like giving likes, you guys can go ahead and leave because that's when the real nice videos start to come. Y'all already know the people that actually stay here all the time, they be like, yo, Bugatti be setting them up on this point because he always says, hey, you guys, double tap that screen if you like the content. And of course, if you don't want to, you don't have to. And a lot of people always leave when you ask for a like because they act like you have to pay for it, when all you really got to do is double tap that screen if you appreciate the content. And what we like is when you run away, right? Because that gives us that woosah moment. And then we come with another video, bang! And it's a crazy one. And y'all be like, damn, I missed it. That's right, you missed it just because you didn't want to give a like and you wanted to leave instead of giving a like. But we like when that happens. Personally, I do, because I don't think you get this. I don't think you should get to see the good videos if you can't do something as simple as tap that screen. Let's keep on going, you guys. You know I hate stopping the videos and bothering you guys, only if I'm coming to the comments to see what you guys have. So I want to keep on moving forward because Secretary Rubio speaks on Syria, how a stable Syria would actually be very beneficial to the improvements of our region. The reason I'm going through this is because the other day when we did the spotlight, we had a lot of people that wanted to talk about foreign nations and a lot of things that's going on over there. We're trying to be rounded. We got to give everybody their love. We're not going to stay there too long because we know everybody wants the excitement, but let's get to this topic because this is a great day and a great thing. I like peace, to be honest with you. I like when people can actually be able to live in a harmonious way. So when I see people's ability to do so, I like to support it instead of saying, yeah, well, they did this before. Yeah, well, they did that before. I did a lot of stuff in my past too that I would like to be forgiven for. Get what I'm saying? Now let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Let's go.
Syria, you met with the delegation today. Can you tell us your impressions? And also, did you get any reassurances on some of the requests you made, including asking all foreign fighters to leave the country?
Yeah, look, I think that obviously this is a new relationship. We've now known each other, known them for 24 hours. So it's one that we think that a peaceful, stable Syria would be one of the most dramatic improvements in the region in a very long time. And we want to do everything we can to help achieve that. We have governing authorities there now who have expressed, not openly and repeatedly, that this is a nationalistic movement designed to building their country in a pluralistic society in which all the different elements of Syrian society are able to live together. They've expressed an interest in being at peace with all of their neighbors, including Israel. They've expressed an interest in driving out foreign fighters and terrorists and others that would destabilize the country and are enemies of this transitional authority. And they've asked for our help. And so we're going to try to help them. Now, obviously, we want to see progress made, and we'll take every step that they take, and it'll be a long road because it's been a long time. So we recognize that, but this is a historic opportunity. And if it succeeds, we'll have a dramatic transformative effect on the region. I would say that Syria is a place where people of different faiths and backgrounds have lived alongside each other for a very long time. It's only in the last 10 years under Assad's rule, brutal rule, where he gassed and murdered his own people, where he created chaos that allowed foreign fighters to flow into the country and use it as a playground to conduct external attacks, where Iran saw an opportunity to come in and sponsor their groups that turned it into a terrorist highway to empower Hezbollah. It's only in the last 10 years that you've seen 6 to 8 million people driven out of that country.
All right, y'all, we got to keep it moving. I still want to stack this deck a little more. We already got through those last 4 decks. We're going to keep on going forward right now because we're going to have to bring it in because we got a situation right now. Did you guys know anything about 8647? Know anything about those numbers? If you do know anything about 8647, you probably know that James Comey basically tweeted those numbers on his tweet, on his Twitter, on his X, or whatever his social network is. So James Comey was interviewed yesterday for over 70 minutes. And now James Comey's wife has to be interviewed after the online threat against Donald Trump. Comey was interviewed, like I said, for 70 minutes. I want to know what you guys think about this, as well as what's coming up next. And then I'm coming to the comments. Let's keep it going, you guys. Trying to stack this deck. I know it's early morning. People got to get to work. Not going to try to run you long, but I want to make sure that you're getting out of here with at least a lot of knowledge of what the hell's going on this week. Let's go. Let's keep it going, you guys. Let's go.
Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Tricia, I want to get to this James Comey story with you. So he was interviewed for 70 minutes last night. His wife will also be interviewed. From the Department of Homeland Security's perspective, did James Comey call for the assassination of President Trump?
Yes, in the DHS's opinion, and Secretary Noem has said she believes that this is a call for an assassination from the former head of the FBI to a sitting president of the United States. Americans can rest assured that we are taking this incredibly seriously. I won't get ahead of Director Kern or Secretary Noem, but as you mentioned, Comey did sit down for an interview. I think it was closer to an hour and 10 minutes, and there will be consequential interviews after this with other members of his family and other people who were there.
Tricia, I want to get your take on the Supreme Court ruling yesterday to halt the deportation of a group of Venezuelan migrants under the Alien Enemies Act. Tricia, how is the administration going to fight this?
I don't care. We ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about James Comey, and he got interviewed for over 70 minutes yesterday about this 8647. I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think it's just a blind text that he just put up just to put it up? Or do you guys actually think that he put this tweet out really thinking that he can empower people or engage people to do something about it? Do you guys really think that it was intentional? That's what I want to know, plus the stuff about Syria and whatever prior. Let's try to stay on topic. Let me see what you guys got going on over here. If you appreciate the content, let's go ahead and double tap that screen to get those likes up to let everybody know what we got going on over here. Okay, no, it's a military code, says Kendra Walker. It's a military code. Okay, what do you mean by that? Go deeper with that, Kendra. I'm on it. What you talking about, girl? I like that. Daniel Castro says the intent to pay for them by crypto. Tax revenue reduced tax percentages, but increasingly overall revenue. What we got over here, John Thompson says, no, it doesn't. 86 mean take someone out. Just so you guys know, all I remember is when I used to go to a club or when I dated someone that my son's mom used to work in a club. Anytime someone got 86, that means you got kicked out of the club. So it means getting rid of something. Okay, I'm over here again. Let's keep on going, you guys. Cynthia says, I worked at a restaurant and 86 something means you don't want it. There you go. Get rid of it. Mark Dorfman says, Comey knew what he was doing. How could he not know? Okay, but I want to know in depth, and you guys are smart. The people that I'm asking, Mark Dorfman, what do you mean by Comey knew what he was doing? Let's go there, y'all. Y'all be making me do it. What do you guys mean by he knew what he was doing? He knew that he was trying to. That's what I want you guys to do. Say the rest of it. Come on, y'all. Come on, let's do it like that today. John Thompson says, your facts are wrong. Okay, John Thompson, that's why I ask questions. That's why I ask questions. I never said that I knew everything. Mary Ellis Brown says 86 means evict or must leave and not allowed back. Whiner in chief needs to get over himself. What a fool. So basically everyone here is basically saying that he was just trying to say, like, get rid of this fool because we're tired of having him as president, not the exploited way that they're trying to basically enhance is what you guys are trying to say. Majority of people here that are saying that. Daniel Castro says some even argue they won't sign the bill because it increased spending while cutting taxes. We got Darren here that says Comey helped Trump win in 2016. Quick and Easy says MAGA loses. Do me a favor, you guys, again, if y'all appreciate the content, do me a favor, let's double tap that screen. We're going to get more people over here because now you know what's about to happen, what you guys always like talking about and what you like hearing about. Money, 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 money. Some people got to have it. Right now, check this out. Walmart, y'all already know about it. We already talked about this. I was wrong and you were right. Because guess what I thought? I thought that the tariffs were even, that we're not going to have to spend more when it comes down to supermarkets and things of that nature. Then I looked at the news. I'm like, wait a minute, you serious? Walmart? Walmart is talking about raising prices on select items. And the tariff, once this tariff takes effect, we are going to feel those price increases. I want you guys to see this right here because Walmart said it. Actually, I looked and did some research on this, and the CEO, Doug McMillon, he had already predicted that prices were going to go up a year ago. That's actually where I got that picture from when I read that article. You guys might want to look into this. He had already said that the prices were going to go up, and that was before tariffs. So now with tariffs enacted, it makes more sense to me. It makes even more sense to me. Okay, you guys, I'm going to get to this clip right here, but I really wanted you guys to know everything that's in the deck. So let's go.
One of the nation's largest retailers says price hikes are...
You can nurture potential...
Triumph is the community church, serving Metro Detroit for over 100 years.
Retail news tonight. One of the nation's largest retailers says price hikes are coming because of tariffs.
We're talking about Walmart, and tonight we're learning what items will soon cost you more and when. Our consumer investigator, Hank Winchester, is live at Walmart in Troy. And Hank, how are shoppers reacting to this news?
And Will, as you can imagine, they're surprised. We're here at the Walmart in Troy. It's surprised mainly because Walmart, from the beginning of this tariff talk, has said it's really not going to affect prices, but now a change on that. And you're going to find out exactly how it could impact you. As I mentioned, we've been talking with shoppers here in Troy and also in Dearborn. I talked to Ann a short time ago. She specifically makes her way here to save money. Here's what she had to say. What do you think when you hear about the possibility of prices going up?
I think like we're not going to be able to eat. We're not going to be able to feed our families a lot because, you know, with the price going up, people got multiple children out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We can't afford it. Yeah. We really can't afford it.
When you're shopping, are you specifically looking for bargains or going to stores like this?
Of course, we have to get the off-brand.
Yeah.
Always the off-brand, just in order to get what I want or what I need at the house.
This way?
Hank, what items could soon cost more, and when will these prices start to rise?
When?
Yeah, well, we're talking about the prices that you will notice a change in by the end of this month, and a wide variety of products. You're talking about everything from electronics to furniture, furniture, not only patio furniture, but furniture for inside the home. If it comes from overseas, you're going to see that additional tariff tax. Also food items, bananas, avocados, anything not produced, sold in the U.S. is going to see that extra tariff tax. And then clothing, where you really might notice that, parents? Listen up. That's going to be as you make your way into June, July, August, as we all start back to school shopping. Those items could cost you more. Will?
Well, Hank, any reaction from the leaders at Walmart?
Yeah, and we did receive a statement from the CEO of Walmart. I want to share that with you. He spoke out earlier today saying, we will do our best to keep our prices as low as possible, but given the magnitude of the tariffs, even at the reduced levels announced this week, we aren't able to absorb all the pressure given the reality of narrow retail margins. And the one thing everyone's going to be watching right now is if other retail companies now are going to start following Walmart's lead. Remember?
It will. I'm gonna tell you guys why. They are a chain and a flagship, and it makes the stores and the other companies say, "Hey, Walmart's doing it." Just like that little kid that throws that piece of garbage on the ground, and you walk over there and say, "Why you do that?" Well, he did it. Why I can't do it? That's how business is sometimes too, especially if they're gonna win some what? Money, 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 money. But guess what Trump's trying to say? I don't know if some of you guys agree with this or some of you don't agree. Trump's like, you know what, Walmart? Y'all made a lot of money over the years. Y'all need to eat those tariffs. Let's keep on going, you guys, because right now Trump tells Walmart, y'all need to eat those tariffs instead of trying to hand them over to the American consumer. Since you guys have already been price gouging for so long, I might have added that. Let's go, let's go.
President Trump is warning Walmart against raising prices. Tonight, President Trump is warning Walmart against raising prices, telling the nation's biggest retailer and grocer to, quote, eat the tariffs. The president returned to Washington, D.C. last night, wrapping up a three-nation trip to the Middle East. CBS's Willie James Enman is at the White House with the details. Willie James.
Drika, good evening to you. The president spent the day here at the White House out of sight as he faces pushback on his so-called big, beautiful bill and tariffs.
This weekend, President Trump warning the nation's largest retailer against raising prices. Posting on Truth Social, Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason. He then added the retailer and China should eat the tariffs. The post comes 2 days after Walmart CEO Doug McMillon warned on a quarterly earnings call that prices may rise amid the president's trade war with China and other nations.
Even at the reduced levels, the higher tariffs will result in higher prices.
Walmart is a bellwether of U.S. consumer health. In a statement to CBS News, the company said, "We'll keep prices as low as we can for as long as we can, given the reality of small retail margins."
It's a tax that consumers won't see directly in the receipt.
Walmart customers we spoke to are divided on the effect of the tariffs.
I think in the long run, it may have a good impact. Price increase is always worrisome.
Also this weekend, tensions building on Capitol Hill as a handful of conservative Republicans revolt over the so-called Big Beautiful Bill.
There were 16 ayes and 21 noes.
5 Republicans on the House Budget Committee voting with all Democrats against the GOP proposal, which includes $880 billion in cuts to social programs. Conservatives say the bill does not go far enough to reduce spending.
We have to deliver on extending the tax cuts, but getting also the spending cuts necessary to get deficits down.
President Trump has called on Republicans to unite and support the bill, and the House Budget Committee has set another vote for late Sunday evening.
I don't know if it passed, you guys. I didn't notice anything. I didn't get any updates yesterday, but I will keep you guys posted on what the big, beautiful bill. Whoever got something to say, talk about it now, because I'm in the comments. You guys do me a favor first. If you appreciate the content and everything that you guys see, and the fact that I get up at 3 to pool to get ready for 6, go ahead and double tap that screen to get those likes up. Also, we're trying to get our members up. Go ahead and join the channel, you guys. It's a great channel. What we do here is we play clips. People come and they talk in the comments, as well as have a great dialogue. I say what you guys have to say, make sure that I run through all of the comments, and then we have a great dialogue. We're not independent. Some of us are Republicans, and some of them are Democrats. But all of us are human beings. That's why this platform was created, because I myself would maybe go to someone's platform. I would say my opinion. Get out of here if you don't agree with me. That's not fair. We created this platform to actually have cool debates, Go back and forth, because what debating means conversation, and we might find a solution. So yes, if you appreciate the show, which is called Our Bottom Line, go ahead and double tap that screen and become a member, y'all. Come on now, we need y'all over here. We need smart people over here on this channel, and that's what I'm looking for. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Become a member. Let's run these numbers up to let everybody know what's going on over on this channel. Oh my God, y'all got so many comments. It's crazy. Okay, let's go. Oh my God, Demonetized says it's funny the people in here talking about Bugatti's suit probably shop at Walmart in the pajamas, LOL. Well, we got Walmart should eat it. That's what Mike said, Walmart should eat it. What else we got? We got TK says every country has its own type of tariffs. Move on. If it gets poorly, they will end it. What else you got over here? Moose says there was no federal tax in 1918. That's why tariffs paid for the government. What else we got up in here? We got Mike that says if it benefits the country in the long run, I say we support the president on this. What else we got here? We got Coco that says 1918, the U.S. was way less dependent than now. What else y'all got? Y'all not playing today. Joseph says Walmart, a Fortune 500 company, telling consumers they will raise prices, but at the end of the fiscal year, they get to rebate or lost the stolen materials and items. They never lose money, but will raise the prices. Oh my God. See what I'm talking about? I did not know that. Joseph, thank you so much. That was the maraschino cherry. That's crazy right there. You guys need to tune in and make sure you become a member. MAGA said MAGA is different to Republicans, he says. We got Darren that says economics is economics 1918 or today. Y'all know y'all stuff. Yeah, what says you have a good vibe, bro. Yeah, good looking. Yeah, what? Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. And in fact, my vibe comes off of y'all. All I do is play the clips. I find the good resource information and pool it, and I try to give us something to talk about. I try to create the spark to make you guys keep on going. That's what we got to do. We got to keep on moving, you guys. I hate talking about this because y'all be trying to say I look like this dude. But let's go. It's not funny, but yes, we got to go on down to the New York, my state, my town. Diddy, the trial, number 5, the 5th day. Cassie's testimony really broke down. She was not only 8 months pregnant and almost about to have the baby, but she is not holding back on her defense. She says that she was not happy with being forced to be part of freak-off parties as well as tapes, freak-off tapes that they said that she was in, and then Diddy was showing that it was about, he was basically, she was scared that the freak-off tapes would get out. There's a lot of crazy, quirky, freaky information coming out about this case here. I don't know what you guys think. We got a lot of people actually saying free Diddy now, and then you got a lot of people for the other side. I don't know what you guys think, but this is the live coverage that I found that had as most definitive information that made more sense to me, so I thought that we should cover it. Check this out.
Here we go.
Another day.
Another day at court. My goodness. Is Diddy's defense getting to Cassie? How is her demeanor in court today?
To watch someone who is visibly pregnant sort of take deep breaths at times, she's keeping her cool. Honestly, she didn't cry or anything like that. Obviously, early on in the testimony, there were some things that had her in tears. But today, she's been very calm, very measured, especially considering the audio clip that we heard of her threatening to kill someone. I looked over at the jury box because I was wanting to hear their reaction as we're hearing in real time her voice threatening several times to kill someone because she's concerned about this freak-off video, and the jurors were shocked. I saw the eyebrows raised, I saw them listening, and I think to hear her voice in court and see how calm and measured she is, and then to hear that side of her. Again, it wasn't 2014 that this audio clip was something that she recorded, but clearly she's threatening someone who she thinks might release a freak-off video, and she's worried about it.
So you think you know Wicks? Do you?
So she was not trying to wind up looking like what's her name, Kim Kardashian and Ray J. She ain't want to do that. But when you're dealing with this situation and such a person of such magnitude with so much money and so much influence, I'm gonna tell you guys, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, at his strongest, he was stronger than the mayor when it came down to New York. When he was doing all that, P. Diddy runs the city. Money really made a lot of difference when it came down to it. So a lot of people get influenced by your money. And you can make a lot of people do things. So think about it like that when you're wondering, what her perspective of and what Cassie was actually going through. I had to think about it from many different aspects as well. Want to know what you guys are thinking about this. Let's go. Kendra says, if you're enjoying the content, double tap that screen, please. Kendra says, yes, sir, accurate. What you got? Yes, sir, accurate. They using Diddy to distract us from bigger picture. You know what? I believe that too. Mark Dorfman says, Diddy is going to need a miracle to beat this case. It's on tape. It's another R. Kelly situation, I think, Mark. We got Federal Lights that says, I think the files are available, though you'd have to ask if it's not completely public. Okay, if it ever will be, because they're protecting people's names. Okay, we got Terrible News Brown says, Diddy disrespected the powerful people. Yeah, what says, one thing to be a criminal, but weird too? Nah. John says, yeah, Obama and Clinton better get out of the country. Demonetized says, Diddy and Epstein were brother and sister. Ooh, okay, guys, come on, let's move it in. We got to bring it up to California/Chicago, because the family of, somebody that I thought y'all almost said something about this, but I'm going to just say it right now. The family of El Chapo. Yes, El Chapo, the cocaine, drug dealing, smuggling criminal from over in Mexico. His son has just made a deal with the United States of America where he says he's going to turn himself in and give up all the information and everything he knows. I was saying to myself, well, why are they flying over 12 of his family members? And it's a pretty crazy thing. They have a deal that's been struck due to the surrender of the son. In Chicago, they basically don't want the rest of, I guess they're looking at it like they don't want the rest of the family to be left in Mexico, because you know what could happen. You got you got your son over there locked up, snitching on all of us. Pow, pow. So yes, believe it or not, you're going to see El Chapo's family coming over to the United States, coming in through California, you guys. It's pretty crazy right here. This is an unprecedented deal that never happened before, that we know about, but check this out. I want you guys to see this right here, because it's late breaking news.
Sinaloa cartel kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is serving a life sentence in a Colorado prison. And as he does, more than a dozen of his family members just entered the United States through here in San Diego. It's part of a deal as the feds prosecute his sons and several other cartel leaders. NBC7's Shelley Bremer has more.
At least 17 family members of notorious drug lord El Chapo were spotted entering the U.S. right here through the San Ysidro port of entry. The Mexican government confirms this is part of a plea agreement his son has struck. Experts tell us this kind of deal is incredibly rare.
This video, taken Friday, shows more than a dozen relatives of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman coming across the U.S.-Mexico border in San Ysidro with rolling suitcases in hand.
Now, did y'all know about this? Come on, tell the truth now. Double tap that screen to get them likes up. What does it do? It tells people. How does it tell people, Bugatti? Because when you tap that screen and go double, like you hit that like button, YouTube sends up a notification and more people come over here. That's what we're trying to do. Also, trying to get to 40,000 subscribers, you guys. So if you appreciate the content and the work that we put in over here, go ahead and subscribe, become a member. We do it all every day, you guys. We cover everything. Let's go.
Ovidio, como lo vimos todos en las noticias, comienza una negociación.
In an interview Monday, Mexico's Secretary of Security said the U.S. Department of Justice offered their entry as part of a deal with Ovidio Guzman Lopez. Guzman Lopez is one of two sons of El Chapo who are currently being held in Chicago on major drug trafficking charges. He's now set to plead guilty.
This is definitely a very unique situation.
Attorney Cesar Luna says this appears to be an arrangement of cooperation in exchange for protection and an indicator the family fears violent retaliation.
You know, the son who's in prison, I'll talk, but you need to protect my family.
Right.
News of their arrival surfaced the same day federal prosecutors in San Diego unveiled new indictments against alleged cartel leaders.
Wow.
Let me be direct. To the leaders of the Sinaloa cartel, you are no longer the hunters. You are the hunted.
Though they declined to comment on the relatives of its most infamous kingpin.
Yeah, we're going to focus on this case. Next question.
But Luna says they're inextricably tied together.
We're seeing lately that the administration is being very forceful on drug trafficking.
No tenemos la información oficial o pública.
And as the Mexican president says the U.S. has shared few details of the deal, it raises questions about the relationship between the two nations.
What are the issues of sovereignty? What's the cooperation looking like? So it's very, very interesting.
I think that's actually a good thing because they don't need to know everything, because I feel as if some parts of Mexican government may be corrupted and influenced by certain parts of the cartel, and they don't need to know certain details. That's probably why they didn't let them know that. You guys ever think like that? You know, and that's another reason like this. Why you think that the Mexican mayor wasn't so forthgiving when she was offered to get Delta Force to get rid of all of the cartel people? Because she has to live there. You guys got to remember that when you have to live somewhere, you got to walk on eggshells, especially when you got a cartel behind you, even if you're the president of said country. I'm in the comments. I want to know what you guys have to say about this content. Natalie says, thank you for bringing this story not talked about. Thank you so much, Natalie. Kane says, hi, hello. Terrible news says, Walmart people live like kings in no Europe. Wait a minute. There is no cartel. There are like 10 different cartels. Politicamente says, Shanebaum searches and cartels. Yeah, what says that lady sounded like a dude. Okay, they won't uphold their part of the deal, says Cloud Queen. We've got Monge that says you are no longer the hunters. You are now the operativos. What you got over here? Mr. Good Citizen says, I don't shop at Walmart, so I don't care. John says T1 operations. What else y'all got for me over here? CJ says, John, they might as well make breadcrumbs illegal. Woo! Yeah, I know what they are gonna make. They're gonna make legal. Watch your head. Then you be in a car like this. Y'all be careful out there. Don't get to a certain ripe old age to get locked up. Trust me, it ain't cool. Now we're going to keep on moving forward because guess what? Come on over here, Washington, D.C. Guess what they're talking about? They're talking about opening up what? The Rock. They're talking about opening up Alcatraz. That's right, you guys, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the director, I'm sorry, not Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Federal Bureau of Prisons. The director gives us an update on Alcatraz, the conditions, and the renovations to move forward. I was thinking to myself, they're probably not going to be able to open up the Rock, saltwater damage, so much renovations they have to do. Then I start thinking to myself, with technology and the way that things are nowadays, please, they get Elon over there to press a button and have something like dun, 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 instant jail, meet George Jetson. You never know what we can achieve with the technology that we have nowadays. So yes, I want you guys to see what the Federal Bureau of Prisons director is talking about, because Alcatraz reopening, it could be more than just a thought. Check this out, you guys. I want you to see it. Let's go.
To America's most violent and incorrigible offenders, The Rock was shuttered in 1963, left to crumble in the San Francisco Bay. But President Trump is looking to rebuild and reopen the prison.
It represents something very strong, very powerful in terms of law and order. Our country needs law and order. Alcatraz is, I would say, the ultimate.
It's a bold new move to restore law and order. But how might it be executed, and what does it mean for America's justice system? Let's ask the man in charge, Federal Bureau of Prisons Director William Marshall. Director Marshall, thanks for joining us. Okay, everyone wants to know about Alcatraz. President Trump wants it reopened. You have the last living former inmate of Alcatraz saying he's not so sure that that's possible. So the question is this possible, and how do you do it?
Well, thanks, Laura. I really appreciate you having me on. And, I'll just start off by saying I love the way the president thinks. To have the opportunity to be the director of the Bureau of Prisons that has the opportunity to reopen Alcatraz. I mean, how exciting does that feel?
Exciting.
And, when you think of Alcatraz, you think of Fenway Park, Wrigley Field, Lambeau Field, those types of facilities. You just get that kind of feeling about Alcatraz when you
not the people that was locked up there, buddy. I don't think so. I don't think they agree with you, but continue.
Think of those historical venues. And so, we absolutely think we can get it done. We've got engineering teams out there now that are doing some assessments. And so I'm just really excited about the opportunity and possibilities.
Yeah, I think it's
in place. I still need to make a look at the landscape. What
I think I added
materials are now. Everything out there currently is concrete, steel. With lighter weight materials and building materials. We should be able to have a structure that maybe wouldn't be as heavy, or the island would be able to take the weight bearing better. But yeah, I'm excited to get out there and take an assessment of it.
So they talking about renovating it. Not only that, but what I heard, they're talking about making it bigger. And I think that they're taking a note from those other prisons, those super prisons in El Salvador. What you guys think about Alcatraz opening back up? I'm in the comments real quick. What y'all got for me? Okay, Fedlight says, what if they made it run off solar? Ooh, Daniel says, hate, hate, hate. Don't matter because you're wrong and just emotional, says Daniel. Yeah, what says, she asked how opening it would be possible work. Demonetized says, tariffs didn't lead to World War III, LOL. Daniel says, it will be back. Daniel says, I'm glad as F. Killer says, rebirth coming to life. Let me tell you another thing that you got to remember about this. Just the word itself is going to have a lot of people nervous. You're going to Alcatraz. Just the word itself. You're like, wait a minute, you're talking about that on, oh my God. People get scared to death of Rikers Island. When it's an island by itself, trust me, that's when you don't know what the hell going on over there. They got their own ecosystem. They got their own justice. And yeah, nobody wanted to go to Alcatraz. Now, if you're an illegal criminal, a MS-13 person, Tren de la Agua, and you got to go to jail and they send you to Alcatraz, trust me, the word will get back faster than Dale Earnhardt. Papi, no. Let's not do it in the United States. They got something they call Alcatraz. You don't want to go there. Trust me, you don't want to go there. We're going to keep on moving forward, you guys. We got to go over to South Florida. Everybody in South Florida, bring it to the front of the congregation. That's right. We got this serial dine and dasher. I'm talking about he targets sports bars. He targets all types of places. The police say that this fool has been a habitual dine and dasher, and he's stolen from many restaurants. Allegedly. I don't think he's getting out, but I'm going to say allegedly. Anybody here ever do a dine and dash? Quick story. Me and my friends were young. We went to M&G's on 125th Street. Yes, the actual restaurant that is in that's in the movie Belly, with DMX and Nas were hanging out in the movie in a restaurant. That's called M&G's. We went to M&G's one day. I was with my buddy. He told me he was paying. We sat by the window in the front, same seat. We had a great meal. Next thing you know, he said he had to go to the bathroom. He went to the bathroom. As he's coming out the bathroom, he runs out the door. All I know is I don't got no money, so I run with him. Next thing you know, we're running up the block. We get a few blocks away. We make it to the Magic Johnson Theater. Next thing you know, a car pulls up. It's Mr. G, the owner of Mr. G's. Says to us, why the hell did you guys do that? I would have gave it to you for free. You guys always come in there anyway. Made me feel real stupid, and I would never do anything like that again. Let me keep on moving forward, you guys. I just thought I'd tell you that story because the end of it was just so embarrassing. He just walked away like, y'all was hungry. I would have gave y'all the food. Y'all always come in the restaurant anyway. Let's keep on going, you guys. Let's keep it going.
John Barr is accused of targeting a local sports bar chain for a dine and dash game and record show. He was already wanted by authorities. Local 10's Leanne Waterhome is live at Sports Grill in South Miami with the videos you need to see. Leanne.
So this guy is accused of visiting all 5 Sports Grill locations over the course of 2 weeks, but a loyal customer becomes a bad one when they fail to pay. Now this accused dine and dasher is in jail.
It's just so disheartening because we're a family restaurant.
Christine Marquez is the COO and managing partner of Sports Grill, a beloved family-owned sports bar with 5 South Florida locations, recently hit by a serial dine and dasher.
Doing something like that, it affects everyone more than most people would think about.
She says this man at the bar in the blazer and sunglasses likes their grilled wings and top-shelf liquor, but not paying for it.
We like to think people are inherently good, right? And then when something like this happens, it's just, it's sad.
Marcus says he hit up all 5 Sports Grill locations, ordering and consuming at least $650 worth of food and drinks and just leaving.
Came into the restaurant, ordered a couple of beers, would sit at the bar, have something to eat, something casual, maybe a shot, and then tell the bartender, I'm going to go ahead and order something for my wife. The bartender puts the order in, brings the order to the bar. He says, oh, my wife decided to come and pick it up. She's outside. I'm going to run it out to her and I'll be right back. And he left a card. And it was one of those cards, you know, that you get in the mail that's like you're pre-approved, puts it in front of the register, and then the guy bolts.
Police were able to find the man and he was booked into jail overnight. Police arrested 40-year-old Juan Carlos Rivera, charged with organized scheme to defraud and defrauding an innkeeper. Records show he also had multiple open warrants, including one for failing to appear in court for a strong-arm robbery case.
Only and Dave was very instrumental in putting all this together.
You need to stay away from Sports Grill, sir.
You need to stay away from Sports Grill, sir. You really need to stay away from the Sports Grill. He was addicted, y'all. I'm in the comments. I see a mean story up there. I want to read this story somebody wrote. I just saw a story when I was looking. Wait a minute, where'd that story go? Somebody said that they got in trouble with their mom. Have a safe, blessed day, prosperous, says Kendra. There you go. Thank you so much, Native Americans. Guess who did the dash? Okay, that served American. Raymond says, be careful what you say. There's no statute of limitations on stealing. Not me. I already got caught by Mr. G, and the restaurant is closed. What you talking about? Ain't no Mr. G's anymore. Mr. G been caught us. Mr. G dead. You talking about me? That was over 20-something years ago. We good. Carol says, if you have never been there, don't judge. External says, oh, it's Saints Row again. CJ Eric says, Native Marion from New Zealand. There you go. What's up, New Zealand? How y'all doing? What y'all doing out there today? Always be real good explanation. Okay, Jay says, lives up to his name. Harley, now I'm hungry. Yeah, man. Oh, my God. I'm starving right now thinking about Mr. G's. Who came in legally, says John. External processor says, LOL. Where is Zinyak? Demonetized says, Carol thinks her visit in Alcatraz makes her an expert on Alcatraz. Meanwhile, Trump is a builder. What's the last thing you built, Carol? Okay. I stole Brock's candy, says VIP Auction Group. This is the one I want to see. I stole Brock's candy. I thought it was free samples. He's dying laughing. My mom made me tell the cashier. Yeah, Mom, there you go. I knew I saw a story that was similar to mine that people can relate to. Y'all do me a favor. If y'all appreciate the content, let's keep the energy going. Let's double tap that screen and let everybody know what we got going on over here. We don't always have the good stories that make you laugh. Sometimes we have the sad stories, you guys, and sometimes we got to build it up so that we can be prepared for this, what's about to happen. We got this situation with Bahamas and Memphis. Memphis by way of Bahamas and either or. We got a sad situation where this Memphis woman she's critically injured after falling in the Bahamas off of a boat. She was vacationing after celebrating her graduation, and it was a very sad situation. Our hearts and prayers go out to the family, and we hope that she recovers very soon, you guys. Want you guys to see this. This is a very sensitive topic right here. Kind of topics and things like that come from, a lot of people don't get a lot of exposure. So on our platform, we really like to make sure that many people see this. This lady is suffering right now. It's got about 93,000 views. I want to make sure it gets as much as possible. We got this Memphis woman who's critically injured after falling from a Bahamas boat.
A graduation celebration trip turned tragic for one Memphis family. Their 22-year-old daughter, Hannah Smith, fell from an excursion boat during a trip to the Bahamas. WREG's April Thompson talked with Hannah's parents, who are holding on to their faith that she will recover as the community rallies in support.
It was a day full of pride, May 3rd, when 22-year-old Hannah Smith, an Overton High School graduate from Memphis, walked across the Miles College graduation stage as summa cum laude for her communications degree. Tracy Smith and Marvin Smith are Hannah's parents.
We all met at the graduation, all, cheered and screamed her name as she walked across the stage. And then she also had a Delta performance right after the graduation, which was amazing. And she did incredible with that.
The next stop was a celebration cruise to the Bahamas with her childhood friend, Brooklyn. But that trip would turn tragic. during an excursion to a private island Monday.
Right now, we're in Nassau, Bahamas. Bahamas, not Bahamas. Bahamas. And we're on a boat going to a private island.
Brooklyn told us what happened as they were on the excursion boat headed back to the ship.
I heard the splash and I instantly looked. And when she first went into the water, she just made the face like somebody fell, like I'm in the water. But she didn't look distraught. And then she disappeared for about 3 seconds. And I didn't see her. I didn't know what happened. And then she came back up and she reached out her hand and she was like, "Get me." And me and another woman we had met on the cruise ship that was on the excursion with us, we pulled her out. And then there was like a lot of blood in the water.
Hannah had fallen off the excursion boat.
She went into the water, and the boat propeller came in contact with her,
injuring Hannah's lower extremities.
She hit something when she went down or got sucked into something, and there was a lot of damage. The doctors at Doctors Hospital in Bahamas, they saved her life.
Tracy rushed to get a flight to be with her daughter.
They prepared us in saying she was critical, and they couldn't guarantee. And she was going to make it because she lost so much blood.
Hannah had 2 surgeries in the Bahamas and was able to be brought back to the States Wednesday. But she has more surgeries ahead this week.
She's going to need these surgeries and she's going to need therapy. She's still critical. But April, I will tell you today, every day we've been praying and we've been inhabiting the prayers that we've been getting.
Her family now by her side and a growing list of supporters from her school, sorority, and friends, offering prayers and blood donations to help Hannah through what her parents say will be a long journey.
If people could share the GoFundMe link, because we're looking at, the quality of life that she can have for the rest of her life. And we don't want to let this accident define, her life.
Reporting for your news leader, April Thompson, WRE.
I don't know why I let it play all the way. I mean, I had to let you guys see all of that, because how the hell are you going to stop a story like that in the middle? Sad story, terrible situation. Praying for the family and Hannah that they get a speedy recovery. I'm gonna ask God for a miracle. Whatever happens, I want it to be 100% turnover. I want this girl to have an extraordinary life. I want to make sure that we try and give us the best consideration and the best healing prayer that we can offer to our Lord. And we ask that in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you guys. Hopefully, I know you don't like stories like that, but we have to get them out because we are the only ones that really push them, because a lot of people don't want to see that. It's not getting a lot of plays. It's not what's being trending or hashtag. So what? We're going to get it out. We got to get this other one out from Mexico. This beautiful influencer was killed during a TikTok stream. I didn't watch this one. Didn't watch it. Don't know what it's really about. I saw a little bit of it, but it was right after that one. So I didn't want to watch it. But again, I had to get it out. I apologize for what we're doing right now, but this is like castor oil, because sometimes when it's talked about, people will know about it. So I'm going to say this. Be very careful when you're on a ship. Understand that if you're at the back of a ship, when you do fall into the water, the current will pull you into the propeller, and that can actually happen to you. Be very careful on these ships. You guys have to be very careful on these ships. We're going to keep on moving forward, you guys. We got this influencer in Mexico that basically was shot and killed during a TikTok live stream.
Has sent shockwaves across the country.
Hoy andaba haciendo unas cosillas.
23-year-old Valeria Marquez shot to death during a TikTok live stream on Tuesday.
Ya viene.
Her followers watched her final moments live in this video.
Hola. Sí.
In the minutes before, as she recorded from the beauty salon where she worked in Zapopan, central Mexico.
Pues que te lo quieren entregar a ti.
She mentions how someone had stopped by earlier promising to bring an expensive gift.
Ya viene.
Later on, clutching a pink stuffed animal, Marquez looks out of frame before saying, "They're coming," and a voice in the background asks for her by name.
Sí.
Marquez replies yes, then leans over to mute the sound on the live stream. Horrifically shot to death in moments after, we will not show. But after, a person appears to pick up her phone, their face briefly showing on the live stream before the video ends. The identity of this person and their relationship to the crime hasn't been publicly identified. It would be the last video from Marquez, a rising online star in Mexico with nearly 200,000 followers between Instagram and TikTok.
Y el móvil de
Now Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum,
con esta lamentable situación.
vowing justice. The prosecutor's office has not named a suspect, but said the killing is being investigated as a possible femicide, an intentional murder of a woman due to her gender.
You said you were horrified by this, but were you surprised?
I was horrified, and in one sense, I was not surprised.
Paulina Garcia del Moral is an assistant professor who studies gender violence in Mexico and Latin America.
It is quite common, even though it has been codified as a federal crime. The fact is that violence against women, including feminicide, is on the rise in Mexico.
There were 847 femicides reported last year by the government of Mexico. That accounts for nearly 1 out of every 4 homicides with female victims.
Never know about this.
Fighting femicide was a big part of Sheinbaum's recent presidential campaign in Mexico. And while the murder of Marquez is still being investigated, Garcia del Moral says femicide is a pervasive problem in Mexico that will take time to address.
So just for being a woman and having a following and being an influencer and being good at what you do, they want to take you out. Just for that. No other apparent reason. Nothing. Because you're a woman, you got a following and you doing something positive. They don't like that. That's terrible, man. I want to know what you guys got to say about this in the comments. VIP Auction Group says, yeah, like they make so much off YouTube. Yeah, we don't make no money off of this. Daniel says, what a wasted life. People are animals. Monte says, what is femicide? I don't know what it is. It basically look like when somebody gets too much of a following or too much people that's trying to listen to their mission statement or actually listen to your influencer and influence as being a female influencer. Certain people don't like that, and they take you out for being a female, not because of anything else. That's what I get from it, because somebody just lost their life for the dumb nonsense of what we just looked at, and I'm not cool with it. I don't think it's cool. Yeah, what? It was Mexican. It was Mexico. Gorilla. Okay, what else you got? We got Daniel says, handyman is trash. Take him out. What else we got? We got Fred Bear, work is labor. Fred Bear says, this is not work. What's not work? You can leave. Bang! Let's get you out of here. Let me see what handyman talking about. Dude needs a job. There you go. Good looking on that one. Let's get handyman the hell up out of here too. Yeah, there you go. Where you at? Quick handyman. Yeah, let's get you up out of here. Okay. Bang! Because this is a job, fool. You know how much work I do doing this? Because now we're going to go over to Chicago. Thank you so much for noticing that thunder that we needed to get out of here. That's why we got the best hosts in the world. We're going to keep on moving on, co-hosts in the world. We're going to keep on moving forward over to Chicago. Come on over here, Chicago, because we got some good news coming up. All of these serial shooters, all of these shooters that think that they're going to be able to come in schools and all of these places doing these mass shootings, all my tech guys, all my guys that like drones, all my military guys, come on to the front of the congregation, you guys, because guess what we got? We got an experimental drone situation that's being developed in Chicago for shooters that actually disables the weapon. So if you out here talking about you about to take somebody out in a restaurant or whatever, a school, I want you guys to see this right here. And do me a favor, because you know you ain't getting this nowhere else. Do your boy a favor and double tap that screen and get those likes up to let everybody know what we're doing over here. Want you guys to see these experimental drones. I call them already ready to go, because from what I saw, these ain't experimental no more. They need to be in the field and in more places than just Chicago, I would say. Check this out.
Fast becoming the must-have tool in policing. Now the next generation is here. Tonight, the I-Team with drones that answer 911 calls on their own, and one of the first looks at an experimental drone system designed to foil would-be mass shooters.
A drone that answers 911 calls on its own. Man, y'all better not be trying to do no more crimes over here.
At the suburban Oak Brook Police Department, much like other agencies, drones are deployed and directed by humans.
We deploy them quite often.
Just last month, the department was called to help state police track down a person fleeing a vehicle wanted in connection with a shooting. The drone's thermal imaging technology helps spot and pinpoint that person fleeing.
Don't need
Now
a
the
helicopter
department is
no
going
more.
to the next level with a drone as a first responder.
It's not operated by someone traditionally holding a joystick. It's able to deploy itself.
The drone, made by Flock Safety, uses AI technology that's tied into the command center and deploys on its own from a roof to specific 911 calls.
Getting eyes on the...
So we got the RoboCop of drones. Remember RoboCop was just sitting there? He'd be there looking crazy because that motherfucker head looked crazy with that thing on the back of his dome. He'd be sitting there like this, eating baby food, and then all of a sudden, or sleep. Next thing he just get up and just go out. I have to fight crime. I have to fight crime. RoboCop. So yeah, we got robo drones out here now, and they being what? Monitored by AI. So they're gonna get smarter as they keep on learning. Let's keep on going, you guys.
The ground prior to officers' arrival, that's going to be huge.
In North Suburban Libertyville, several former Navy SEALs and a business entrepreneur are working on the next aerial technological evolution.
Now it's locked on to Nate. As Nate presents, it strikes at Nate. So that's the show of force that we're talking about.
You're watching an indoor drone designed to detect and potentially stop a mass shooting on its own before police even have a chance to respond.
The drone is looking for a threat who's carrying a weapon.
Members of Breakcourt Solutions demonstrating their close-quarter drone for the I-Team. Equipping drones with firearms is illegal in the United States, so the concept with this system is designed to track the threat and then neutralize the weapon instead of the shooter.
Once the threat is detected, now it can begin tracking, begin following that individual, providing real-time information to first responders.
The inventors don't want to reveal trade secrets, only explaining that the drone can also lock in on a weapon and then strike the side of it, dispensing an adhesive substance that essentially jams the firearm's inner workings.
So the internal functions of the firearm no longer work. It disrupts the bulk carrier group of AR-style rifles, semi-automatic pistols, pump-action, and semi-automatic shotguns. And those are 95% of the weapons utilized in active shooter situations.
The concept is for the drone system to be housed throughout a building, activating when trouble is detected. The inventors comparing the prototype to a sprinkler system.
Well, why don't we have the modern day sprinkler system to active shooters and mass shootings?
Ooh.
That's what we're developing.
Yeah, I like
And the close
that.
quarter drone system is now being integrated with other security companies and is expected to begin pilot testing this summer. But just
I like it, y'all. I like that idea. They got it up in the ceiling like a sprinkler. You want to come up in there acting crazy, all of a sudden the drone come at you. What y'all got to say about that? Y'all know y'all ain't seeing nothing like that nowhere else. Come on now. What y'all got for me? Nice idea, right? But nowadays, your remote, you remove that, people would take advantage. Okay, said hi. Okay, what you got? X Kitty says hi. Go ahead and let me know where you guys are chiming in from. Where you guys chiming in from? Demonetize me either, Faded. What you got, Faded? It causes unease. Just makes things worse, I swear. Demonetize says, but does the drone make julienne fries? What else you got? Fred Faded Light says, I don't like living in a surveillance state, to be honest. VIP Auction Group says, glad I quit stealing as a child. Yeah, I wasn't no good either. Jay says, RoboCop. You know what I'm talking about. Haven't seen this reported anywhere. Subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Batty Lynn says, uh-oh, that's some smart drone, right? Yeah, what? Says the microphone is like it's on whisper mode. Crank it up for you. Okay, we're going to crank it up for me. We're going to crank the mic up one more decibel. We're going to go. We got this other situation now. I told you guys, we're not playing today. Subscribe to the channel. Double click to get them likes up because ain't nobody messing with us in this hour. From 6 until... Go ahead and search. Go ahead and click your live. You got people up in there talking about nonsense, doing whatever. Nobody else rocks like us over here. Let's keep it moving, you guys, because guess what? In Florida, we got this situation that's called, which used to be one of my favorite shows, Too Close for Comfort. Y'all already catching a lot of the stuff that I'm throwing out, so I can tell that we all about the same age and we all get it. Yes, Too Close for Comfort. Not a show, but gators that's seen scratching on front doors and trying to get in people's crib. Imagine you hear somebody at the door. You're like, who is that? They ain't ring the bell. You go look at your camera, and it's a gator. Florida Gators, come on, y'all, step to the front of the congregation, because these Gators ain't playing. They trying to get in the crib now. They like, look, y'all moved on our land. Now we want to come to the crib. We want to come inside. Let's go.
One Florida family had a different kind of wake-up call when a scaly neighbor tried to barge in. The family inside heard the door rattling and thought it was a burglar, but the last thing they expected, a front porch predator. Only in Florida do you sometimes have to deal with an eager door-to-door scalesman. Courtney Beck says she and her parents woke up when they heard scratching at the door. Their dogs barking. Her family worried someone was breaking in. Her worry turning to shock seeing the toothy trespasser making a surprising visit.
That was just not what I was expecting. I thought maybe it was the UPS guy, or that was the last thing I was thinking was a gator.
A Florida-style wake-up call for Beck and her parents. She says her family now watches their backs when leaving home. A similar sight played out last month, this time at a home near Orlando.
There is an alligator at our front door. Do not open it.
The homeowner said the reptilian visitor was nearly 8 feet long and even tried knocking on the door. But after she called a trapper, the alligator made its way through her backyard before heading back into the water. This is why in Florida, a doorbell camera isn't a luxury. It can be a means of survival. And it doesn't stop there. Another scaly neighbor making an unwanted visit in a Fort Myers neighborhood. Deputies responding to the visitor chomping at the bit to enter a home Friday morning. The gator on the loose was eventually secured and handed over to a trapper. Beck said she posted her gator encounter online and received more than 2 million views on
Batty said that's why she stay out of Florida. She said, I ain't going to Florida. I ain't messing around down there because they be acting crazy in Florida. Let me ask you guys a question. You remember this? The movie Homeward Bound? And the song Homeward Bound. Home, dun, 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 home. I know a lot of songs, a lot of stuff. Y'all been around for a while. You know what I mean by that, right? Well, we're going to shoot on over to check this story out that you guys are going to love right here. All my animal lovers, all of my feline-friendly people, I want you guys to know something. Your furry friend really loves you. I'm talking about your furry friend loves you like no other. To the point where you guys actually have an animal magnetism between each other. Did you know that your cat can sense you from almost miles away? I'm gonna prove it to you right now. Imagine you drop your cat off at the vet to get the snip done, and he don't want to get it done, and he decided to come home by himself. Yes, he decided to come home by himself. Highways, byways, streets, intersections, alleys. I'm talking about this one cat right here, you guys. Come on over to Tampa Bay. I want you guys to meet this friendly feline who basically escaped the vet and got home after a 3-mile trek through all sorts of neighborhoods. Check this out.
If Disney ever makes another sequel to Homeward Bound, we've got a nominee for the role of Sassy the cat. George lives with a family in Lakeland, and after a recent trip to the vet for a little surgery, he decided to check himself out of the animal hospital early. As Fox 13's Evan Moon tells us, George was homeward bound, even though home was 3 miles away.
Where's George?
This courageous cat has a tale to tell.
He was able to pop that cage open, and he sprung out of there, and he was gone in seconds.
George the cat went to SPCA Florida to get neutered, but turned into a feline fugitive on an impossible mission. Escaping from staff and into the record books of backyard legends.
George was able to bust out of the trap, and he literally scaled some dog fencing and went into the woods, and our staff were literally hoisting each other up over the fences to try to chase George to capture him.
The SPCA employees ran off into the woods to find him, and they're not going to chase down a cat. That's not going to happen.
And George, even for a cat, wasn't thinking clearly.
So he still had silly drugs in his system.
But miraculously, days later, George made it miles back home to his parents. His owner describes his journey.
If I had got stuck at the SPCA, I would have called an Uber. All right, but George didn't have that option. But coming back from there, he has to go through 2 or 3 subdivisions. He has to go around the lake, another lake that's between us and the SPCA, and probably 5 or 6 roads.
A cat behavioralist explained their incredible internal navigation.
So evolutionarily, they've evolved to be able to naturally find that way back. And we think that it's due to a combination of scent or visual markers and possibly geomagnetism.
And the truth is, they love their humans.
Contrary to popular belief, cats are very attached to us. So they will want to find their way back home eventually.
And it's certain, George's human loves him too.
So I was distraught. I mean, and heartbroken. He needed a human touch, and that's what he got.
Evan Moon, Fox 13 News.
Wow. Yeah. Don't be a George, you guys. I saw that in the comments. Somebody said, yeah, it had to be a George, huh? What y'all mean by that? What y'all, put me up on the joke too. What do y'all mean by it had to be a George? What y'all mean by that? I'm in the comments, y'all. What y'all got? George said they can't have his balls. Demonetized says maybe George knew the area because he was whoring around in that area, ? Says demonetized. Natalie says great story. Thank you, Nat. That's why I do it. DJ Mod says most cats are smarter than people. Okay, we got Faded Light says also had a dog visit me at school one rainy day. They can find people in the rain. Damn, for real, Faded Light? Are you serious? Angels Among Us 214 says maybe he came back for his friend. Okay, Batty says, oh, cats have a great sense of direction. Natalie says, that's someone's pet who loves them. There you go. Faded Light says, when I first moved here, a dog got out and we were across town and he came and found my mom. No joke. There you go. Yeah, what says, that's wild cool. Faded Light, he's a big cutie, says Angels. VIP says, George says, oh, hell no, I'm out of here, right? Yo, Batty Lynn says, and the cat came back the very next day. There you go, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. That's George. Big shout out to George, y'all. Do me a favor, you guys. Come on, y'all. Tell the truth. Your boy's mean on the sequence, mean on the shot, ballin'. Y'all know how we do over here with Our Bottom Line. Do me a favor if y'all appreciate the content. Double tap that screen, get those likes up. If you ain't also already become a member, why you ain't become a member already? Why? What's your excuse? Why you ain't already become a member? Why don't you subscribe to the channel? Come on now. Do what you got to do and become one of our co-hosts to be here. Put on post notifications so that you know what time we're going to be here. You don't even have to do that really because we're here every single day. But I would like you to because it makes YouTube feel good. It makes them feel like we're actually interacting. Put up more comments. Go check out some videos. This ain't all we do. We got a lot going on the channel, you guys. Also, I'm going to be going down to the courthouse to see what's going on with all of those rogue reporters, everybody on the outskirts and all of that trying to act like they're all of a sudden the big news person that wants to chase the P. Diddy case. We're going to run down there and see what's going on this week, you guys. Also, do your boy a favor. If y'all want to make some money, go into that description right now. Find those surveys and fill them out. Today, we made sure that there was $500 worth of surveys in the description for you guys to fill out. You'll make money. I make money too. Also, you got a business. You're a mobile barber. You might be somebody that's a mobile groomer. You might take care of dogs. I don't know what you do, but you might have a postcard or a flyer for your business. Send it over to us so we can put it up in the post section. That means everybody that's a subscriber and a member is going to see your business, and there's a potential for more business, you guys. Also, yes, we are still doing the Show Your Talent search. So that's right. We need you to go ahead and go to that liquor store and say, hey, you guys got that big drip? Oh, you don't? We out. Right, because what we need to do is put on the Show Your Talent search. I'm going to be the host. Big Drip Hard Punch is the sponsor. You guys are going to be able to come and be a part of a talent show. I don't know what your talent is. You're going to show me. And when you show me your talent, boom, you're going to get $250. After that, we're going to wait till everybody in all 5 boroughs, Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, gets a chance to do it. Whoever wins out of the 5 will win $1,000 cash grand prize. You guys want to be a part of the Show Your Talent search? Go on over to the website www.drinkbigdrip.com and join and tell me how old you are. You got to be 21 or older, and it's only for the 5 boroughs of New York currently. That's right, you guys. Go to the liquor store, ask for Big Drip by name. Make sure that you guys are 21 and older. 4-pack, 14% alcohol, and you're supporting the channel by doing that. Even if you don't subscribe or share or whatever, support by buying the product and asking for it, because what it does helps out the marketing. Full circle over here. I don't like to lie. I'm 100% transparent. What'd be fantastic is if you guys go up in the liquor store and say, hey, you got Big Drip? Oh, you don't? Boom, we out. The next thing you know, Boogotti gets a call and we get that store. Each one helps each other out. I appreciate you guys like no other. I am going to have a fantastic day because God let me breathe another day. I got a lot of problems to deal with, but problems present opportunities, and that goes for you guys too. So if you have a lot of situations that you're dealing with, understand one thing. You were waking up this morning for a reason, and that means you got another chance to deal with that problem, take care of your family, and get over whatever the situation is to make your life more abundant, more peaceful, and more happy. That's all we're about over here, you guys. And with that being said, drink some water, go get out there and do what y'all got to do. It's Monday. Get to work. My favorite day of the week. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow because that's how we do it over here. And y'all already know. Y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me and all of these fantastic co-hosts that we got that I love and I adore you guys, everybody with that glove, I just want you to know it. I see it, even the new people. I'm so thankful for you guys becoming members because it makes the channel so much greater. And with that being said, you guys already know, y'all could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, y'all, get 'em. One. Peace.